Hi there, this is the Carlsen crusher in the French defence Winawer variation from the game Carlsen against Ivanchuk in the Amber Rapid tournament in 2011, in which the great Magnus Carlsen fell from grace and lost out to Vasily Ivanchuk. Carlsen opened e4 and Ivanchuk opted for the French defence with e6. d4, d5, knight c3 invites the pin bishop b4, the Winawer variation, which now targets the loose pawn on e4. So white closes shop with e5, and c5 hits at white's strong, small pawn chain in the centre. Usually here, white will play a3, cleaning up activities, and usually bishop will take the knight on c3, and then white will continue with his assault. Here, Carlsen's move, queen g4, is a common move in the French defence Winawer, targeting this pawn now on g7 since the black's king's bishop has left so early. However, playing it now is actually extremely rare, not too common. The question is whether or not that pawn on g7 is poisoned. Well, black gives it with knight e7, and Carlsen took it. Rook g8 now, the obvious move, to hit the queen. And again, we have another poisoned pawn idea. Does white take the pawn on h7 or run to h6? Well, in the game, Carlsen took on h7, and let's have a look at that. Queen takes on h7, and although Ivanchuk went on to win it, he didn't play it correctly. Ivanchuk played queen a5 and went on to win the game. More correct would be c takes on d4, hitting the pinned knight on c3, and white will be obliged to play a3, hitting the bishop, but now the queen comes out to a5, pinning the pawn, and the rook can get taken. And if rook b1 now, then d takes on c3, a takes on b4, and queen a2. We've got symmetrical queens here, both of them hitting symmetrical rooks, but here black is obviously winning. White's rook is falling. That didn't happen in the game Carlsen against Ivanchuk. As I mentioned, Ivanchuk won in a different way after queen a5 wasn't as good as the immediate capture, c takes on d4. What would have been better after white picked up the first pawn on g7 and rook g8, queen h6 would have probably led to equality. After c takes on d4, the position is a little bit different now, a little nuanced, because now after a3 and queen a5, white can in fact now play a takes on b4. The queen is defending the bishop on c1, which makes all the difference in this variation, because now if queen takes the rook on a1, white's given that rook, then knight b5 will give white certain counterplay with all sorts of threats, knight d6 and knight c7, and as I mentioned, the bishop on c1 is protected. So in this variation, more or less equality. Taking the h pawn was actually losing immediately. So this has been fascinating trap, the Carlsen crusher in the French defence Winawer variation, a type of symmetrical queen trap. Hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.